What's up? It's me, ADRI.V, the go-getter, and I want to welcome you to the G Code podcast. You see, this is a place you go to get the pretty, the ugly, and the grind to success. There's always a story to be told, and everything that glitter ain't gold. So understand this. There is no need for the cheat code when you got the G Code. So get your notebooks and pens ready. It's time for us to get into it. Welcome to the G Code.
You are now listening to the G Code with ADRI.V.
Well, I feel like I need to cue a certain song. You know, when my favorite artist, I'm not gonna say my favorite artist, when one of the artists that I enjoyed a lot disappeared and then he came back with the theme song. And I think I'm gonna come back with the very same one. You know, let me just jump right into this.
You know you like that. 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 You know you like that.
Yes, indeed. It is a welcome back because I've been gone for a minute. Now I'm back with the jump off. Cue Little Kim.
It's the jump off. I've been gone for a minute. Now I'm back with the jump off. Goons in the club, case something.
But in all seriousness, go-getters, I am so happy to be dropping a new episode and to be back at it again because I feel like I've been losing my mind with my inability to express myself, you know, through this wonderful platform called podcast with this awesome podcast called the G Code. And may I submit to you in this moment, while you are listening, I need you to share, invite, because sharing is caring, and letting your friends know about this dopeness is important. Because I mean, why would you want your friends not to be in on this? Why wouldn't you want your friends to be G's when it comes to listening to the G Code? So my go-getters from my hometown of Buffalo, I appreciate you for tuning in. My folks from Rochester, my people from Albany, my folks in Toronto, my folks in New York City. Can I just say I appreciate you? And wherever you are in this spectrum of podcast land, no, I appreciate you for checking into. You indeed are truly a part of the gang, okay? The Go-Getter gang. So with you subscribing, you have joined a gang of greats, a gang of great people who wants to tune in weekly to get their dose, their weekly dose, their energy, quick pick-me-up shot to get you over the hump each and every Wednesday as I serve you up some new and improved awesomeness called the G Code podcast. Now, again, for those who aren't familiar with the G Code, maybe this is your first time listening, please feel free to go back and check your girl out. It's crazy because I sat and I just thought about, like, it's 2018. We're about to be rolling in 2019. And I kicked off this podcast, I believe, 2015 or 2014. So I've been going strong for a moment now. And I've created this platform because the girl in me, I'm a radio again. For those who don't know me, I'm ADRI.V, the go-getter, A to the D, R to the I-V, THEGOGETTA. But my mother has named me Adriana Viverette. That is I, she is me, we are we, okay? And I am a radio personality on the stations 93.7 WBLK in Buffalo, Hot 99.1 in Albany, as well as WDKX on the 3.9 in Rochester, New York. And I'm just excited because I know that this end of the year, as we're in the fourth quarter, and I have some dreams, goals, and things that I'm trying to manifest, that I am going to manifest, that I soon will be saying another market, a major market, and a major stations that will be affiliated with your girl here. And so I have a show called The Go-Getter Mix where it is syndicated, and I feature different DJs each and every every week and sometimes a month to highlight what they're doing, they're moving and shaking, and just really giving them a platform to mix on, right? And so in addition to that, alongside of having this great opportunity for DJs, I also feature movers and shakers as my go-getters of the week. In addition to that, just highlighting what's going on in the cities that I am a part of. So I shared all that to say what I am most passionate about and love to discuss and talk about is being motivated to go and get all that you desire. You know, I was given the name the Go-Getter from my friends because there was never a time when I was in high school that I wasn't on my grind to make things happen and to go get what I wanted. Same thing with college. You know, if I made up my mind what I wanted, there was nothing that was going to stop me from getting it. And I was tenacious, and I had this buoyancy and this stick-to-itiveness, and I still, push to have all of that still. But that's how I got the name. But the reason why I've created this podcast is because I'm so passionate about being motivated and staying motivated that I've realized, getting a dose of it alone once a day is what you need to keep it going. My favorite motivational speaker, Zig Ziglar, said, motivation is like washing your butt, okay? You don't skip a day. Well, I will hope you wouldn't skip a day. You don't skip a day on washing it to ensure that you are sure of yourself, that you smell good, right? That you feel good. And it's the same thing with brushing your teeth. You don't skip a day in brushing your teeth or they become yellow. You got plaque buildup, your breath stinks, gingivitis. Same thing with your butt. You get stinky. And I equate that to your everyday living. If you are not doing something every day to digitally download, to put something in your spirit and in your system that is motivating you, that is speaking to you, that is connecting you to pursuing things that are higher than you, more difficult than what you have already done, to challenge you, you are missing out. And you yourself becomes funky because you get stagnant, right? You don't want to do much. And then you're not really doing the things that you should be doing because we all have a purpose in our lives and things that we are purposed to do here on this earth. And time is of the essence. Okay, so I'm rambling on to say I've created this platform because I want to always talk about the pretty, the ugly, and the grind to someone's success, right? And so in the G Code, you will always know that you will get your dose of motivation, some shots of education, edutainment, to be educated and entertained at the same damn time. And in addition to that, being able to be introduced to some dope go-getters who come on here, who share their stories of triumphs, who share their stories of tragedy, who share their stories of how they have become who they are becoming now and what they will become, and also being able to share their grind, why they do what they do, how they got interested in their particular industry and or field, and you become enlightened on people who may be doing exactly what you want to do, and how they got started might just motivate you too. So that's what you can count on each and every time you step into the G Code. Either myself telling you some experiences that I've experienced or sharing a story from myself or being able to get some dope people. Now, I have had some dope people, so I need you to run down a list and check some people out who've been on the G Code, from Dia Sims, who's the president of Combs Enterprises, to Mr. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. He's just super phenomenal. To my girl, who is the budgetnista, out here budgeting and getting the money. She be getting to the money. The list goes on and on with the individuals I have had on here who are just bomb and making things happen in their industry. And I've always wanted to be able to utilize my platform to help somebody else go after what they desire and to be a go-getter too. So I have to send a quick shout out to a girl named Adri that I got a chance to meet via Instagram. And this is why Instagram is so amazing. Social media is so amazing if used properly, that she reminded me on why I started this in the very first place. And she told me how over the summer, she herself found, of course, was listening to my podcast, and got a chance to listen to them all and how inspirational they were for her and motivational. And Adri, you know, a girl after my own heart and name, I just need you to know that you sharing what you share with me in my DMs was absolutely, unequivocally motivational. And I needed that kick in the butt. And I always knew that I was going to get back on my horse and ride out. And of course, get back the G Code. But I wasn't sure exactly when I would do it. But then I made up in my mind, come fourth quarter, I'm going to turn it up. Come fourth quarter, I am going to get back on my horse and ride out. And the reason why I'm speaking from this place, because so many times in life, right, things will come and knock you down. And I think you can really understand that as you listen to my podcast and I talk about having to deal with personal issues and relationship issues to, you know, financial issues. My mother having to deal with breast cancer, and that in itself being something that took me out. And what I learned sometimes that as individuals, and my coping mechanism of how I deal and handle stress is I just get busy, right? I get so busy on trying to keep myself occupied, to keep those things that are bothering me out of my mind. And to realize that you getting busy is not even helping you to cope in or deal with the situation at hand. You're just pretty much throwing a rug over the hole in the floor and tiptoeing around it so that you don't fall in. But at some point, you're going to forget that there's a hole at the bottom of that rug and you might just fall straight in. And this is when all hell breaks loose, right? And I'm speaking for myself. To when you sit down and you realize, like, dang, I am dealing with a whole lot. And I don't know what to do about this. So what I've decided to do now is to not just get busy, right? When life smacks me around in my face and I have to turn around and just keep it moving, that I've decided to take a moment and to digest, to register, and to download everything that is happening and to compartmentalize it, to understand why this is happening to me. And what am I learning from this scenario and situation? Right? So at the top of September, something crazy happened to me that changed my complete perspective of how I look at life. When I tell you, I have such a zeal and zest for life more than what I have ever had. Because if you ever come close to death, baby, you will realize how precious life is. So when I decided to just deal and register with everything that was going on with me and allowing myself to go through the motions, that's when I made up in my mind that I was going to get back on my horse and kick off my podcast, right? And thanks, Adri, again for reminding me that it was necessary. And sometimes you need that reminder, that gentle reminder. So I'm here to be a reminder to you. It is Wednesday. It is another hump day, but it is never a hump day when you are a go-getter, because baby, you ride over the humps. You just keep going and you just appreciate the fact that you got a good suspension in your vehicle to get you over these rugged roads. Shout out to the Wrangler people. Shout out to the truck folks. And if you got a car that got all-wheel drive, shout out to you too. But if you got a vehicle when you ever to move and however you get into where you got to go, shout out and salute to you too. But I'm here to remind you on this Wednesday, baby, that you, ma'am, you, sir, you girl, you boy, you college student, you professor, you professional, you cannot quit. I have this mantra that I use and I say all the time, and it's grind, hustle, grit, don't quit. And when I say it, it's like, dang, girl, you set yourself up for failure. Not failure, but you set yourself up. Because you can't say it and not mean it. And you can't say it and not do it. So at times when you want to quit, it's just like, so are you being a hypocrite to your own words? Right? If you're not trying to go get it, are you being a hypocrite to your own words? And so my own circumstance and situation checks me at the door when it comes to my pursuits. And I'm speaking about not quitting, because so many times in life, we will quit something, get tired of something, and feel like, God dang it, I can't keep going anymore. At what point, when does this manifest how I want it to manifest? At what point does this work out how I want it to work out? And you know what I've learned in just this year? That some things will not go our way. There are some things you cannot change. But what you can change is how you decide to move forward and how you decide to not react, but to respond to it. But even when you decide to move forward and or respond how you would or how you need to properly, you can't quit. You still can't quit the pursuit of going after what you want, right? So many things that's happened from the last time I dropped a new podcast when it comes to what's happening in this world. In one in particular story, I think about, that was on the news, that was a hot topic at the time, was the entire scenario that went down with Serena Williams and how they came for her and how they tried to illustrate her and depicting her in such a crazy way. But she also having to deal with it right then and there on the courts. Some say she got a little rowdy. Some say, and according to the umpire, she had an attitude. She became belligerent. Whatever it is. What I love most is still she played her game and she still did not quit. Unfortunately, in this one football game with the Bills, this player quit right in the midst of the game during halftime. Never seen it, never understood it. But I just feel like he should have been listening and he should listen to this podcast. But I'm getting to this. When I was in college, I learned this very intricate poem. It's a poem that reminds you of why you should not quit. And this is a poem that I want you to download in your spirit. Because I know sometimes you get tired. I do too. I know sometimes you get frustrated. Hell, I do too. I know sometimes you get annoyed. I know sometimes you feel like all this work I am putting forth is not going to work out in my favor. I have thought the same thoughts too. And sometimes I still get them, but I have to fight them out. But I'm reminded, even when I want to quit, I can't. I'll probably be like, I'm going to step away from this for right now. And in my head, I'm like, I'm about to just quit. But then when it's time to get back up and go at it again, I'm right there, right back, trying to get on track to go at it again. And so I want to share this with you because I want to remind you that you have it in you to pursue all that you want to pursue. And if you don't have it in you, there's someone who's within your circle who's there to push you and help you too. But I need you to understand this, that you cannot quit. In this poem, it says, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, and when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though, the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seemed to a faint and faulting man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint in the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It might be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. It's a part of me that want to just spit this again for you. And I tried to read it as slow as I possibly could. Because it's a reminder that sometimes we may feel that it's not close or it's not happening. But if you decide to just keep going, you just never know how close you are if you decide to keep going. But if you decide to give up, you're going to miss the victor's cup. And so many times when we would have just went, if we would have just went just a little bit harder, we could have captured it. And there's this video that I'm going to post on my website, ADRI.V, thegogetter.com, that is so motivational. And it's all about not quitting and not giving up and having self-motivation and no self-doubt. And in this video, it's a coach talking to his football team. And they started talking about this other team that's pretty much a stellar team. And a guy kind of counted himself out when he decided to mention the team. So the coach said, are you not great? Are you saying that they're better than you? And he challenged the young man to do this particular crawl all the way to the end zone. But he had to do the crawl with another player on his back. And he made the player get blindfolded. He blindfolded him. And he said, all right, let's go. You're going to truck along this field and you're going to make it to the end zone. And the boy was just getting tired. And he started getting frustrated. And that's when the coach started yelling at him. And you do not quit on me. Don't you quit on me. Don't you stop. And the whole time, the boy just want to quit. And his body is just, you could just see him shaking. But he's still pushing along. And at some point, he makes it. And he wanted to give up. And that's when the coach removed the bandana from around his eyes. And he said, look around. You've made it. And the boy just kept saying he want to quit. I'm tired. I can't do it no more. And the whole time the boy kept yelling and saying that, his coach kept yelling at him too and saying, don't you quit on me. Don't you stop. I need you to keep going. Let's go. And that video made me cry so much. Similar to when I listen and when I share this poem, it makes me cry. Because it's a reminder to you and a reminder to myself that if you really want something, you cannot quit. And that you will face times that will push you to it. But you rest if you must, do not quit. Like, I want you to capture the Victor's Cup. I want you to get to the mark. I want you to get to where you want to go. I want you to have those opportunities. Because I'm counting on you to make it happen too. So, just to remind you and share this one more time. When things go wrong, and they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not quit. Listen, my go-getters, I am excited to be back at it, and I'm excited and I'm happy that I did not quit, because I wouldn't be here with you, serving you up this dope episode of the G Code on this Wednesday. It's not a hump day, baby. It's a day that you are riding the hump. Ride that hump. Get on that hump. Ride that hump. Get on that hump. But I'm serious. Every day you wake up, have this mentality. Grind, hustle, grit, but most importantly, do not quit. I love you so much for listening to the G Code podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on all platforms of podcasts live, as well as on Spotify and Apple, of course, iTunes Store, and of course, what I love to call this spot, iHeartRadio. Yes, we on it. So make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you share, because sharing is absolutely caring. I love you so much for listening, and as always, welcome to the G Code. Be sure to subscribe to the G Code. Find it on iTunes. Also, download ADRI.V, the Go Getter app on your Google Play or in your iTunes App Store for free, and always have the G Code at your fingertips on a daily. Want to catch up on some of the G Codes as well? Go to www.ADRI.V, and also subscribe on SoundCloud and YouTube. And remember, you can check a new episode out each and every Wednesday as we get you over the hump with the G Code.
I was born in the G Code, embedded in my blood. Matter of fact, you just triggered a level orange G Code security threat.